Hey, hey,
Hi guys, hi Melanie, hi Tim.
how's it going?
Hey.
How's it going?
Hey
Hello
man.
to all the autopilots out there.
All right.
Uh,
Guys, how's it going?
Hey everybody.
Matthias, I want you to know, like, I've gotten so many people who have been stoked about the last, underwriting thing you did, and like, I've just been sharing the video to a ton of people, especially when people are like, "How do you underwrite this?" I'm like, "Bro, just watch this video, please." He's better at explaining it than I am.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, snatch it up while it's free because I'm gonna charge more next time.
There you
Yeah,
go.
that's good. That's good.
I like all the nice things you say about your wife in your Facebook posts.
Oh yeah, thank you. Yeah, appreciate that.
Good
She
man.
deserves it.
She's good people for sure.
Thank you.
So to be honest, the idea of this call was originally like, okay, different people looking at different areas and like let's take deals down together. And I was trying to like, okay, this person, you look here, and then you look here and you look here, but then everyone else wanted to join, and it got like there's a ton of people. So now how about instead of like trying to control things, which I always try and control, is crazy. But that's how I am. But how about, we just kind of talk about mobile home parks, see, if you guys have any questions, any topics for discussion, anything we can help you with, any deals you want to discuss, stuff you want to take down with us or take down without us, whatever, you know. So yeah, I am stop. I'm not trying to control things anymore. I'm just gonna like go with the flow. So what do you guys got going on? Look at that silence, silence. Matthias, I sent a ton of stuff to Vanderbilt. Well, Matthias and Melanie, because y'all are both involved in the Spartanburg deal. So I love Jake is an attorney who works with Vanderbilt, and he sends nice like checklists. So I went through and sent them a whole ton of stuff today, and like that's the process. At least when I worked with them last, was I'm sure same with lots of other lenders. This is what we need from you, and then I send everything, and then they say okay, yes to that, but also you need this. So things are going good there. Uh, Things are looking good on the Rays. I don't know. What else is going?
Hey
Also
Melanie,
Tim,
got
what?
the
if
go
nobody
ahead,
else is
Dylan.
gonna jump in, I'll talk. Um, it's Dylan. I don't know if he's gonna pop up on you or not.
Man, you need to
Uh,
turn your video off because you're it's too scratchy or it's
oh, is
too
it?
glitchy. Yeah, yeah,
Okay,
Yeah,
I'll cut it out. All right, is that better?
yeah.
better.
Okay, cool. I'm working on one deal out here in Jacksonville, and it's mostly the underwriting that I wanted to speak with you guys about. Um, And so I've spoken with the owners. I went and actually walked the park, spoke with them directly and in person. So I have a fairly good idea, as much as my knowledge goes. I have a good idea of, how they're operating over there. But there are a few, I guess, unknowns, and I'd like to ask you guys how you go and tackle these issues. So just off the bat, it's 40 lots. They have about 37, I believe, is filled, all tenant-owned homes. I think they have three RVs on there that could be moved. One actually can't be moved. Um, and so I don't know how you tackle that issue. They're well below lot rents. They're at 475, and the area is closer to like 600, 650. They're not being the sewer and water and trash. Nothing's being billed back to the tenants. It's on city water and sewer. They do have a well there, and and there's what looks like a lagoon in the back, but I'm just not quite sure what exactly what I'm looking at there. Um, and So I did shoot them a couple of questions in regards to that. I'm waiting to hear back a response for. They did have another person approach them to buy another group. Originally, it was at 2.15 million is what they were offering. This is all verbal too. I don't think they have any paperwork. I think they countered at 2.3. But I kind of wanted to just talk with you guys in regards to, okay, how do I go about putting in these expenses, for the upside, what really makes sense. So I guess with that information, what other information do you need from me to kind of talk through all this stuff?
Tim, you want to take that over? You want me to take that over for the underwriting part?
Yeah. So, well, first, yeah, throw numbers into throw anyone who's bringing deals, please, do us all a solid, throw the numbers into the spreadsheet. Even if you're like, man, this is totally off, throw it in there so we can, compare and see what's up. The first thing off bat, I would definitely want to see, what the sewer and or lagoon and or whatever was, so we could kind of give you an accurate assumption in terms of the expenses. Other than that, I mean, I'm looking at potential gross of 200, 210, maybe 220 ish. Again, Matthias will go through the underwriting better than me, but I mean, that's gross, right? So say it's direct build water and sewer and you're 30% expenses. So I got 210 right now, right? So times 0.7, 147,000 roughly NOI. And then, I mean, what, Jacksonville? So
Yeah.
I mean, Jacksonville's nice, but I'm hesitant to put an 8 cap on it, considering our debt for the Spartanburg deal is 8.5, and it's yeah, I mean, 7.5 to 8.5 probably for debt. So really putting a 9 cap on it, I'm looking at 1.6, 1.64.
Okay.
So not saying it can't be done, but those are my initial thoughts. Matthias, what do you think?
Yeah, I think that's a great start, Tim. Kind of a back of a napkin. First analysis is good, Dylan, because you can kind of see how far off are you with this initial. If you see you're pretty close, then it makes sense to dive deeper before you go into the full-blown spreadsheet, spend an hour on it, or whatever time you take to fill everything out. Makes sense to see how close you are to the asking or the whisper price. So I think that's a good start. What Tim just gave you is a really gold nugget there. It seems like it could be an attractive deal. I made some notes here. Definitely a good spread between market rent and what the current average rents are. That's pretty good. Definitely check out to what Tim said with the situation with the sewer and lagoon. I think that's definitely something you want to definitely figure out.
Yeah.
And the majority is all tenant homes, so which is a good thing, but also you don't have much. That's one value add piece you don't have is turning over park-owned homes to tenant-owned homes. So you definitely want something that another value add play or lever that you can pull, which you have with the big discrepancy between current average rents, lot rents to the market rent. So that's great. Do you have any financials available from the seller or broker at the moment?
So yeah, it's all word of mouth. They literally don't have anything written down. They've been just getting paid. They live their house is on the property, so they got a house up front and then all of their mobile home parks in the back. But that's the one they live in. That would be along with the sale of the property as well. Um, yeah, they're not very organized. It's just straight up mom and pop. They've never really been too organized. They get paid in cash mostly. It's mostly senior citizens that live there. So all on fixed income, Social Security. Um, I have a rough estimate of what their expenses are at, and again, this is all word of mouth. Water and sewers at 36,000. Taxes are roughly 12,000. Insurance is 2,500, which I was kind of curious about. To me, that seems kind of low, but I also don't really know. The repairs and maintenance is roughly about 6,000. This is all annual, by the way. Trash removal is 8,700. Lawn. So they rent their lawnmower and then for 358 a month. So about 4,300 for the year. there is somebody that could be potentially ID'd as a property manager that's there who is already doing a lot of the lawn work and cleanup of the park. So I guess that's kind of a plus there. He is an older gentleman though, so I don't know, what he's actually capable of being able to do, but he is already kind of a handyman on the park.
Gotcha.
Dylan,
So
I think you need to live in that house and just like ultimate house hack it, right? So, buy the whole thing and live in the house, and there you go.
I
Model
know.
home park house hack. We need a book about that. We have to
Yeah.
write a book. That's not on the market yet.
I know. There is 2 acres in the back that they're just using to store, equipment or trash, whatever it may be.
And you
So
said
I guess
so
that
they
could be a
want
value add there.
2.3? They want 2.3, or they countered someone
That's
at 2.3?
they were offered 2.15. They countered at 2.3. They're just, I mean, this is their source of income. They they're just trying to get as much as they can out of this deal because then they're just going to live off this for the rest of the time. I did speak with
Nice.
them in regards to potentially some seller financing, and I talked to them about what their capital gains tax would be. Kind of worried them because it's going to be a pretty big chunk of change that they have. So they have it's under $300,000 loan from the guy's sister, and then so they have to pay that off, and then and sell the park. So it's roughly probably about 2 million that they're going to have profit that capital gains is going to eat about 400,000 of that up probably.
What were
Yeah, I
their
was about to.
ideas when when you brought up owner financing? What did they say?
They said they're open to it. I think it would be more of I come with some sort of terms, and because I don't think that they would quite understand to like come up with something on their own. So I think it'd really be it's like whatever kind of makes sense for us and see if it would work for them.
I think you'd want to see how much they want down and how much they want per month.
Yeah.
But I mean, we can spitball numbers and whatnot, but before giving them anything, that would be probably the smarter thing. Buying out the LLC. Yeah, yeah, maybe. Um, what do you mean? What do you mean there's David?
So I've seen you buy the LLC out, right? Whoever's buying this buys the LLC out as a member, 85% member. You put the sellers on as a 15% holding member. They get no rights to the property other than they're going to be paid back over time. So they're
Gotcha.
kind of like going to hold a note back for them as that 15% member.
Okay.
You're gonna have to talk to talk to an accountant about how you'd set that up. But I know I've had other partners do that in the past where they'll come in and instead of taking a huge capital gain, keep them on as owners.
Mm.
And so you would just pay them off and pay them out over time.
You could also create a new LLC and do that. Like I did that for my
Right, yeah.
last closing. So yeah, same principle. I like it.
Just keep them on as members so they're not taking the huge capital gain hit. They can
Yeah.
allocate that elsewhere, over time.
With that, do you still give them some sort of down payment then as well?
Well, yeah, at closing, you'd give them, because they're a member, you'd actually take it on as debt to the company, and you'd be, again, go back to your accountant and talk to them about this. You'd issue that 15% as part of debt, and there's some strategic ways to do this where you could write that off over time, without getting too taxi and legally on it. But there's ways that you can keep them on as owners and just pay them out. And if you guys decide where they default on that debt later, you basically write it up as a note to them, there's several ways to do it. You could write it up as a note to
Mhm.
them that you're going to give them so much cash. They're going to pay that cash back, but they don't pay it back. And then you write it off as bad debt. There's different ways to do it, but again, talk to an accountant and see how to do
Yeah.
it the right
Yeah.
way. But I know guys that have done that. You just got to be careful with doing that,
Gotcha.
especially
Okay,
with,
I
as
appreciate
a
it.
15% ownership type. Yeah, you just best thing to do is talk to an accountant and see, what their thought is on it.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Yeah, dude. Talk to them. Talk to them. Get more information before making any kind of offer because, sure, 2.3, but like what are the terms,
Mhm.
So like that's why it's like, what do you need per month? And what do you need down for this to make sense? And then just kind of solve for that kind of stuff.
Yeah, gotcha.
Cool.
Cool, thanks.
Cool. Yeah, dude. Thanks for bringing it up. Who else is working on something?
Hey, Tim. I'm not working on a particular deal right now, but I did have a question about deal flow.
Yeah.
Because on the call last night, Ed brought up looking at Facebook and Facebook Marketplace for mobile home parks. Besides Crexy, LoopNet, and Mobile Home Park Store, like websites specifically for mobile home parks, where else can we look?
So I don't look on Facebook Marketplace, but I do look on Facebook like mobile home park groups. And I mean, really just make connections there. And that leads me to, seeing different deals that people have. And yeah, I mean, lower your expectations. But there's stuff there, I think. In a roundabout way, my Georgia portfolio last year came from, so it came from a wholesaler that I knew from Facebook. And like that deal wasn't there, but it's, roundabout way. So yeah, I was looking at
But
mobile home park store earlier and I was like, damn, there's not a whole lot of stuff going on right now. Not as many deals that grabbed my interest as I would have liked.
but your strategy is not to necessarily go direct to seller.
No, I don't go direct to seller.
Okay. Yeah, cold calling is not one of my skills currently.
The same, bro. Like I am not good at it, and more so than I'm not good at it is I don't like to do it. And so since I don't like to do it, I'm not going to do it. And I've tried to force myself before, and it just never really worked. So I'm like, okay, there has to be a better way for me. Um, David's got a lot of deal flow. David, let's hear it, man. What are you guys doing?
Yeah, we're underwriting a lot of properties, RVs, MHPs. So if you guys are ever interested, you can hit me up. We met with Tim and my team, I don't know, 2-3 weeks ago. So we're trying to partner with Tim on some deals if we can get the right numbers going. But if you guys, want to talk to us, hit me up and we'll see what we can come up with. So we're capital raising for the properties we're buying. We're also looking for partners. So we want to help you guys as much as Tim does. So we're not interested in keeping everything, and we know it's not possible.
Yeah, it was a good talk. I look forward to working with y'all.
Yeah.
So. All right. What else? What other questions we've got?
I have no questions. I've been building a list for them, specifically Massachusetts. There's at least 100 good trailer parks here, and I'm building a manual list of owners, names, titles, and starting to dial them. So it's just the beginning. I talked with one of my buddies this morning that knows a 157 pad site down here near Cape Cod. And I drive by it every day and said, that's the perfect one. That's the perfect one. And he said, yeah, well, the father just died, gave it to the son, and he's a terrible manager. So you should give him a call. So that's as of like 11 o'clock this morning. So you never know. Those are always the good bites that you get in the morning.
Yeah,
Yeah.
love it, dude. Love it. That's cool.
Yep. Yep.
That,
Hunt
that
begins.
I
The
would
hunt
house
begins.
hack that like any day of the week. I'd house hack that. I love Cape Cod.
Me too. Yeah. Yeah. All right. I'm on it. We're on it.
Sweet. Hmm.
Yeah, I'm
Cool.
working on a smaller park. And right now the biggest thing I'm trying to fish out, there's only 7 homes on it, but it's a bigger lot. So I want to dig up if I can put more homes on it, build it up, sell it, and then buy something bigger. Just graduate like that slowly. But my question to you, Tim, was Vanderbilt, because I'm also connected with them too. So I understand that they're lenders, but they also sell homes too, right? Because, well, I know that because they're coming across my desk. So,
Yes. So there's different arms. So there's Clayton Homes, there's Vanderbilt Mortgage, there's Vanderbilt financing for like homes to like end buyers, and it's not in every state. It's like a newer program they're doing. And
mhm.
then there's like 21st Mortgage, which lends on homes to community owners. So yeah, they're different arms of the same company.
So my question would be on that, and this is just common sense to me, that they're probably repoing homes and that's what they're selling because I'm getting homes at pretty good prices. So I'm imagining that because I actually had a talk once with the banker. I actually have the guy who handles the repos, and I have his number direct.
What's his
Um,
name again?
I think it's Anthony. It's the same as mine. That's why I was like, okay. Pretty cool
Yeah, I
guy
don't
too,
know.
because I actually called on a place up in I don't know, I want to say it was above um Mount Pleasant. I forget the name of the next town, Collinsville. He had a home up there. That looked like a pretty decent flip. So I called him on that and he goes, oh, that's very unusual to us to have this. We usually do mobile homes. So anyway, yeah, so that's why my question would be, getting back full circle now, is buying this piece of property, doing the numbers on it. If it works out and I can get 3, 4, 5 more homes on it, getting it at the right price, dealing with them, are they the best source for homes? Or when I get to that point, I can just ask you that question then.
Yeah, I mean that's who I'm looking to go through. Homes are tricky, I'd say yeah, go for something from someone reputable like Vanderbilt. Um, and yeah, they do have that, they're used homes because they're homes that they finance and they repoed. So I haven't personally looked yet, but I have talked to some people and I like that idea.
Yeah, cool. All right. Sounds good. That's what I got in the works right now, and see what pans out from there.
Matt, make note of that for Spartanburg. That Vanderbilt does repo homes and they're like generally supposed to be relatively newer. So that might be another path to do.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a good point.
Cool.
Yeah, Tim, if you want, I can put you in touch with the person that's shooting me out the emails.
You can just forward me one of the emails and I'll keep my
Go
eyes
for it.
on them.
Okay,
Yeah,
no
they're good
problem.
people. I like everyone I've talked to and worked with at Vanderbilt, in the different divisions. They're good people. So,
Yeah, that's why
they're all just trying to make money and whatnot.
yeah, they seem like it, and I thought it would be a good play. Just wanted to get your take on it. If it's not like shopping for homes, or it's a good place to start.
Yeah, yeah.
Cool. Thank you.
Sweet, sweet. Richard, what are you working on?
Right now I'm working on a 52 lot mobile home park.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
How's that looking?
Well, I'll know by tomorrow. I will definitely
Okay.
know by tomorrow.
Okay, cool, cool.
So I'll keep you all posted.
Are you guys the when Matt went over the underwriting and stuff, like are you guys able to do that stuff yourselves pretty easily? Like when you get all the numbers from brokers or whoever, is it kind of analyzer making sense to y'all? Yeah. Cool. On that underwrite, like when we did that call, did I explain to you guys kind of how I do the different like creative financing strategies and like using the the analyzer for that? No, no. So here, let me see if I can find it. I don't know who I was telling this to. My days feel like they're all blended together, but let's see if I can pull this up. So like when I'm doing so when I'm doing like creative stuff, right? Like, so Matt put together this we were looking at this deal in Virginia, and we're decently far off, maybe sometime in the future, but not so much right now. But so let's see. So he did, like basically a cash offer. And every LOI I put out, it's like one is a cash offer, one is the owner finance, and one is seller equity position. So let's see, let me share the screen. Okay. All right, y'all see the screen? So, he put this together, and the numbers look great, but the town was really small. So we had to go back and say, okay, what's it look like if we're not doing the infill? Anyway, so here's, the number 2.975. Like this is everything he did. Returns, the returns look good, 2.22, whatever, right? It's hitting all the metrics we want to hit for the investor returns. But like, so in order to figure out what I could do for owner finance and seller equity position, I just, created another, like I copied this, called this one cash offer, copied it to this one, called this one owner finance. You can see, does it switch over tabs when I did that? You guys see the owner finance one now?
Yes.
Okay. So then, I just mess around with the number a little bit. I say, okay, if we're going to owner finance, let's change this amount on first mortgage to 0.9. We'll say they're financing, 90%, and we're bringing 10%. So change this to 0.1. So if I was going to change this to whatever, 5 million or 500,000 or whatever, then like these numbers will change automatically. But yeah, so, if this guy wanted to finance it with 10% down, 5%, 50 years is just about interest only. And then, just play with that. What do my investors' returns look like? 2.44. That's sweet. I probably could have gone to, I don't know, 3.85. Let's see. So I'm just kind of going back and forth. I'm not super overthinking it because Matt already put everything, all the numbers in solid. He already did the overthinking, which is amazing. So I could just come in and play around a little bit. And so I think, he wanted, Matt, what did he want? 4.25 for this?
Let me check. I don't recall. It was around 4 million, 4.25. I think you're right. On the
Yeah.
quarter.
Yeah. So, you know, basically, yeah, like this is just a straight, like it's everything's the same, but the debt is different. So you can see how changing the debt makes it so I could change the purchase price. The one thing I would think, like, so if I was going to do this for 5 years, I would go to the pro forma and look at year 5 and make sure that I could really refi out at that time. So this is, you know, the value at year 5 with the business plan at a 9 cap. If I was going to get a loan, so equals this times 0.7, you know, just to say, what would my loan be? And be able to take out a loan for 3.539 and, you know, almost pay him back everything.
Wow.
So, yeah, just stuff to be mindful, you know, stuff that I look at. But really, I go and I say, what price can I do this at? And then I put the offer out, because like I don't go too crazy with stuff like this, because you don't know, like maybe he's going to say yes, maybe he's going to say no. But this guy didn't even counter. So like I will come back, you know, I've made a good connection with the broker. I'll come back to them in like a month or so and see how things are going. But anyway, you know, before I submit that offer, to me, I'm like, I'm not going to go too crazy with figuring out like all the intricate details. I'm going to see if this is something they're agreeable to first. And then, yeah, so same thing. I created another copy, seller equity position, right? So, you know, I start with a price, and then same thing here, right? I've got this at 65%. I've got this second at basically, this is so at 35%. So the seller's carrying everything that the bank doesn't. And so, you know, just putting stuff in here, seeing like, so we'd still have to raise a little bit of money, but you know, not too crazy. I mean, you can see acquisition costs are lower because all you're doing is closing costs and stuff like that. And I mean, really, depending on, you know, depending on things, you could take down the acquisition fee, you could take down whatever. You know, play with it to make it so it works. But yeah, again, it's the same thing, right? So returns in 5 years, you know, we're hitting those metrics for that $600,000 for sale at year 5. So yeah. And then in the owner finance one, so when you're looking at the projected returns, it's always like a sale at year 5. So when I was talking about like, oh, I want to make sure that there's enough meat to be able to refi and just like hold, you probably wouldn't be able to do that with this owner finance. You'd probably just sell it and, you know, everyone make a little bit of money. But yeah, so, you know, same thing. Here's, you know, how I'm going to be doing this. Here's some probable terms on things I'm going to get, and how can I make it work? So that was my LOI. You know, it was this all cash at close, this owner finance with 10% down at 5% IO, and then this at seller carries back this much at 2% for 1,000 years, or interest only, right?
Hey,
Yeah.
Tim, can I
questions?
ask you a question?
Yeah.
Are you, when you go to refinance this, I know you said you may sell, but when you go to refinance these out, you're paying off the LPs. Are you keeping them on as, if you refinance it, are you keeping them on as continued investors, or are you just paying them off and getting them out?
I like to keep them on. So I haven't done it. I haven't done it
Mhm.
before, but
that's
I
the
would
thought.
like to keep people on long term. I know a lot of people we'll refi and then just be like, okay, you're paid out. Like, this is all mine now. But it's like, well, how about we just continue to hold it? If I can give everyone a good return and then just hold it. So for long-term cash flow and everyone's agreeable. I like that. That
Yeah,
seems
but you just buy yourself a lifetime partner doing that.
exactly, bro. Exactly.
Yeah.
I'll be doing okay. I don't need to do like better than everyone. I think
Yeah.
everyone can do well together. So
Right. Yeah. That's why I like you.
thanks, dude. Thanks.
Yeah, that's what I've got another coach that does that. He doesn't care, what the cost is. Get them out, get their money back so they can reinvest it later with you.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. So like that's interesting. Yeah, it's definitely different ways to do things.
Yeah.
I see a lot of people who are like I'm looking for a short-term loan for, whatever, and like we'll pay you out, and it's like, but they're not willing to give equity. And I don't have experience with that, but to me it seems short-sighted.
Yeah.
But I had a text last night. Someone's like, "Hey, I have someone who's buying a mobile home park. They need $60,000. They're going to pay 10% and we'll have it back to you in 3 years." And I'm like, y'all need to juice those numbers to get someone interested. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not interested either way because I'd put, into my own deals, but it didn't seem that enticing.
No, the IRR is going to be a lot higher than that
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
your money to be out.
Yep. Yep.
Cool. I'm glad we're on the same page.
Yeah, dude. Likewise. Definitely. Well, is there anything else that anyone else wants to bring up before we get out of here, How can
And
I help you guys more?
can I also ask, are you still doing biweekly broker calls?
Yes, yes. I just haven't because I've been doing other things. But yeah. So it should be on Tuesday, on this upcoming Tuesday. So I like to do that because I'm doing it anyway, so I might as well. And if it can help, then it helps. So
What is that call, Tim? You do calls to brokers and we all listen?
yeah.
It's great.
And like, really, you guys should bring me like deals that you want to talk to brokers with, and then we can just Zoom and we can all be talking together. Because it's one of those things that to me it's like nothing now, but 3 years ago it scared the shit out of me. And so I'm like, okay, like that's used to scare me and it doesn't anymore. So how can I like give back value? How could I help them me 3 years ago?
That's
So
awesome, Tim. That's all really awesome.
yeah. But Michael, I'll have to put you on if you're not already. It's like every other Tuesday at 10 a.m. Eastern, I want to say.
Okay. Yeah, I'd love to be on it, please.
Yeah. Also, I think I need to
I'm not at
switch it
all
to, like,
afraid. I'm not
11.
at all afraid to talk to anybody anywhere. What I am afraid of is that I say something stupid. So if you're gonna put a 400 pad park on the line for the first time, much rather make a dial with you than do that for a out of the gate call for me.
Yeah.
That makes-
Um, yeah. See, my superpower is I don't give a shit about sounding stupid. I sound stupid all the time, and it's
That's
fine.
right.
I just keep
Me
moving
too.
forward.
Nice.
That's the only way you get good is if you keep doing it.
Right.
Yeah. Anyone who wants to be on that, can you guys here? I'm gonna put my email here. Can you email me and just remind me to do that? Because I'm not gonna do it right now. Oh, I just put that as a direct message. And then I'll send it to you. And I think I'm gonna change it to like 11 a.m. on Tuesdays because a lot of times I'm calling people who are like central time and whatnot. So I'm hitting people early or too early. So
Yeah, I'll
shoot me an
definitely shoot you an email for sure.
Cool.
Can't wait till this gets to a point where it's like Tim and Jennings call, where you got just bringing deals to right, and then you guys can get us going on it.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I want y'all to put numbers into analyzers and mess up and like I don't no one cares. No one cares if you're doing it wrong. Like just do it.
Right.
And then we can kind of like actually talk about it. Otherwise, it's high level but not as effective,
And we want you to say no on the first 10 or 20 because it only makes us better and more aware to find that right deal.
Yeah, yeah. Love it. Love it. Love it. All right, y'all. Well, thanks for coming. Talk to y'all next time. Let me know if I can help you in the meantime. Otherwise, y'all have a good one.
Thanks,
Have a
Tim.
good one, Tim,
Thank
and
you.
we'll probably see
Thanks,
you
guys.
Friday, Tim.
Everybody.
See ya.
Thanks, Tim. See ya.